The Catch-22, the ULB feature, is the new short film. Hello guys, and thank you for tuning in to Unlimited Creation with Cal Barnes. I'm your host, Cal Barnes, and today we're going to crack that Catch-22 wide open. The predicament every new filmmaker faces. How do I make a feature film when I've never made one before? Or better yet, how do I find investors to invest in one of my feature films when I've never made one before? Are you ready for the answer? Drum roll, please. Brrr. The answer is, you don't. You don't. For 90% of you out there listening to this, maybe even more, that is the answer. Why? Because unless you come from wealth, unless you were born with a trust fund, or unless you have famous friends that can be in your movie, or finance your film, or connect you, it is highly unlikely anybody is going to give you money to make a feature film until you've made one. And that right there is the predicament. So you might be asking me, Cal, how do I make a feature film then if I don't have investors? Here's the answer. You invest in it yourself. And you're going to say again, well, don't you need hundreds of thousands, $1 million to make a movie? No, you don't. You absolutely do not. The total feature film budget for my first feature, The ASTRID Experience, was under $100,000, and the shooting budget was well below $100,000. You might be thinking, well, I still don't have access to that much money. Here's how you do it. You get another job and you make the money. You partner with a friend that has some money that also wants to advance his career or wants to do something cool, or you max out credit cards. However you want to do it, or you borrow, you take out a loan, you borrow some money, you get some friends and family to give you a little bit of money. However you want to do it, you need about, depending on where you live, you need about $5,000 to $20,000, and with today's technology, I'm telling you, you can shoot a banger feature film for $20,000. Curry Barker is the man of the hour with his hit feature film Obsession that y'all probably think I'm more or less obsessed with on this podcast, and I am because of what it's done for the current marketplace. But that aside, Obsession was not Curry Barker's first feature film, even though most of the world may think it's his first, or it's the first film they know him for. In fact, his first feature film was a found footage film called Milk and Cereal that he shot in Los Angeles, one of the most expensive cities in the world, for just $800. Yes, he did have a massive creator YouTube channel, and that film got streamed millions upon millions of times. But to be honest, I never knew about it until Obsession came out, and I think most of the world didn't know about it until Obsession came out. But even Curry Barker, even the most successful filmmaker of the year and arguably the last decade, even Curry Barker made a ULB feature first before he made Obsession. So why do I say the ULB feature is the new short film? Well, for multiple reasons. One, it's 2026. It's not the 90s anymore. It's not the 2000s. The market is flooded with content and it is oversaturated, even with feature films. There are so many shorts produced per year. I don't know who watches them unless it gets into a tier 1 festival, or you have a massive creator or YouTube audience to distribute it to. It is highly unlikely that that film is ever going to get seen, even if it's great. Yes, it is possible that it could go. It is possible that someone could see it. I know what really got Curry Barker the deal, according to what I've read online and listened to in his interviews, was this short film he did called The Chair, which is actually, I've watched both Milk and Cereal and The Chair. I actually enjoyed The Chair more. It's a really good horror short film. But the reason it got seen is because of his YouTube channel with millions. I think it was like, I don't know what it was. I think it's between 1 and 2 million subscribers. And that's how Tea House Productions found him. He had an audience, he had a way for it to get seen. And then because it got seen, the film stood on its own. But if you can't get the short seen, having a great short won't do a lot for you. It may help you get representation if it's really good. I know some directors take that route. But in my opinion, if you can just make a feature film with that $20,000 instead of a short, your chances of it, one, getting seen or doing something for you in your career, I think are just much higher. You are now officially a feature filmmaker. I made one short in 2011. It was the first thing I produced. And then I did a music video. I'm talking as a producer and director here. I did a music video. I did some other experimental shorts on my own, like pretty much just by myself with a camera and like a friend. But I only produced one short film before, and it was when I was very, very young in 2011. And then I just jumped right to the ASTRID experience, right to the feature film. And that film did so much for me. It opened a lot of doors as an actor. It brought me to the attention of a lot of investors. It was like a film school. It was like a 4-year film school where I came out of it with an insane education on the marketplace, on distribution, on genre, on what I needed to make for my first real budgeted film, just like Curry Barker did for Obsession. He first made Milk and Cereal for $800, and then his next feature film was Obsession. I'm also coming from an acting and writing background. Before I even made the ASTRID experience, I had not 100 credits, but I'd acted in at least 50 projects between shorts and music videos, commercials, stuff like that over that decade. I had some experience there, and I just wanted to get right into features. But from my experience, I'm telling you, the sooner you can just become a feature filmmaker, the better. Move into that bracket, make a ULB feature, and guess what? You're now a feature filmmaker. Even if that film only cost $20,000, you're now a feature filmmaker, just like that. I know people that dabble in shorts that are really, really talented filmmakers, and I mean really talented. And I'm not going to knock this path because some people do it really well. I know people that have made like 10, 20, 30 shorts. They start going to Sundance, they win awards, they hone their craft. These guys are prolific. I mean, I'm really an actor and writer and creator first and foremost. I'm not a straight director. Never have been. In fact, directing is the last thing I came to. My two main skills are acting and writing. So, but some of these guys are just these visionary filmmakers like Ari Aster. Even Jim Cummings did a lot of shorts, him and his crew over at Vanishing Angle. So there is a path for that. But it's a lot of time and it's a lot of commitment. You got to make a lot of shorts, and it's a path where you just perfect filmmaking through the short film path and get really good. That is viable. If you want to do that, I'm not knocking it. Didn't work for me. It wasn't the path for me. It wasn't even with my resources and my skill set. It wasn't even really a viable path. I don't have a passion for short films. I just don't. I love feature films. If you don't have a passion for something, everything in this business is so hard. Everything is so hard. Screenwriting, acting, filmmaking, being good enough to compete and let alone get paid to do it, or let alone make a living to do it. It's so competitive that if you don't have a passion for it in those lean years while you're learning, you are going to get smoked by people that would eat, sleep, and do it for free. That's just the way it is. You got to know where you're at. I love acting and writing so much. I did it for free for years in Hollywood before anyone ever started paying me to do it. And I still do it for free all the time. I just love doing it. I'm writing or performing every single day. That's just what I do. And through the process of making content, I'm also falling in love with filmmaking. But be honest with yourself. What path do you want to take? If you want to get into the game, if you want to make feature films, make feature films. Getting back to what I was talking about is I know people that are really, really good filmmakers, and I mean really good, and they keep making short films, and I'm like, dude, just make the jump to a feature. Like, you've got the skills. I mean, technically, story-wise, and I think it's mainly a story thing, like a script thing. I remember I come from a writing background, so before I made a feature film, I'd written like almost 18 feature scripts. So just the form of story that I'm used to is feature film. That's just how I approached it. But for some of these people, I'm like, you just need to write a feature or get your hands on a feature and make it. You are ready to go. Stop dabbling in the short world. It's just holding you back. It's been like a decade. You've just been making short films. Like, that's cool, but I thought you wanted to be a feature filmmaker. Then make a feature film. So that's why the ULB feature is the new short film, in my opinion. For the most part. Other than those few reasons I said at the top of the episode, unless you come from that, most likely nobody is going to give you real money to make a feature film until you've made a feature film. And that's the catch-22. That's why I'm telling you, just get whatever money you can together. Sell your car. Take out credit cards. Who cares? Like, literally, if you really care about it, you'll figure out a way to deal with it. Get an extra job. Make $5,000. Get some friends and family that are interested in film as well, and everyone wants to pitch in a little bit and be a part of it. Figure out how to come up with that $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, depending on where you live, and go out there and make a ULB feature. You just need locations, you need to pay for food, and I did 20 short films for free when I moved to Los Angeles because I was competing with child stars, and I had no credits, and I was very realistic that I needed to star in movies before anyone was going to put me in a movie. I hadn't started anything. I hadn't even been anything. I was like, well, I can star in short films. I'm not going to star in a feature film. I'm not going to beat them for that. But I can star in short films. I can lead a set as an actor because the bar for entry is low and the competition is low. And I was willing to do it for free. And so I'm not against like not paying people to work. I am when they're accomplished and they won't do it. Like I just won't work unpaid anymore, and I just won't. I won't even look at projects that don't pay. It's just not something I do. I'm past that as an actor, but I've also gotten myself there. When I first came out here, if someone was going to put me in a feature film, I mean, I would have starred in a lot of features for free. I was starring in shorts all the time that went nowhere. So if someone was like, yo, you want to be in my feature? I'll give you the leading role and the script was good and do it for free. When I was in my 20s, I would have been like, let's go. Like, seriously, I get a star in a feature film. I mean, you can do it. There's plenty of talent that are looking for that opportunity, and you're offering that credit, especially if the script is good and you have a budget and you're going to shoot the film. Honestly, actors that don't have any credits, or they don't have Juilliard on their resume, they don't have a pot to piss in, like, respectively. I didn't when I first moved here. So people will do your movie for free. In fact, I know a filmmaker, a very prolific filmmaker here. He's made $3 million studio films, and he's self-financed films that are $20,000 or $40,000, and he still uses unpaid talent. That's one of his business models. He finances the whole film himself, and he just finds young upcoming actors that want to be in a feature film for free. He's got an insane track record as a director, so he's offering them a role in a film, credit on a movie, their first role, and they're happy to do it. It's on them. That's the deal you're offering. And they, as they get more credits and as they get more experience, they will evolve out of that bracket. But there's always fresh people coming in to Hollywood that would love to be in your movie, especially a feature film, for low or no money. Here's like the caveat. If you want to get real talent, like real star quality, depending on where the person is, you're just going to get a lot more interest from, like, you're not going to get any agents or managers looking at it if you're offering $0 a day. But if it's $125 a day or $250 a day for the lead actor, you're going to find a lot of developmental managers and agents that are going to be putting their clients forward. This is just my experience. So there is a lot of value, especially for your lead talent. If you can offer them something, you're just going to get better quality, and you want someone with some experience. You likely don't want a brand new actor leading your feature film, although it can work out. You're probably going to want someone with a track record. So yeah, hire, like, for those roles that are going to be with you for multiple days or weeks, yeah, you're probably going to want to pay them something. Talent's very important. So if you're trying to reach that next bracket of developmental tier, definitely pay them something. But you can do a lot. It's amazing who will come to the woodwork when you're making a ULB feature. A lot of crew need their first credits. A lot of DPs are insanely talented. They've shot big commercial shorts, and they're still looking to get their first feature credit. So the catch-22 exists for everybody. It exists for talent. It exists for filmmakers. It exists for producers. It exists for crew. Everyone needs to star or crew or make a feature film before anyone with real money is going to hire them to do it. From a production standpoint, why would I pay good money to hire a brand new actress when I could use the same money and hire this actress that's been on this show or that's been on this movie? That's bringing that clout with them, and it's also bringing that proven track record. It's a no-brainer. So it's a catch-22. So however you have to get past that as a filmmaker or as an actor or as a writer to get that first movie made, to get that first acting role, then that's what you have to do. Because once you cross that line between someone who's done it and someone who hasn't, you're in a different ballgame. If you do this right, you only have to do it once. It's only one movie between you being a feature filmmaker and you being someone who's just talking or dreaming about it. And that, my friends, is why, in my opinion, the ultra-low budget feature is the new short film. Thanks for tuning in to Unlimited Creation with Cal Barnes. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube and Spotify, and I will catch you on the next one.